How did I get here? I used to know every block, every stoplight, every face that stepped onto my bus. Didn't matter how loud the city got. Behind that wheel, I felt calm, in control. But the city changed. The passengers stopped smiling, and the silence started screaming. Now I don't remember where I'm going, just that I can't stop driving.
Part 1. Before. I used to tell people I didn't need GPS. The city was already in my blood. Street by street, corner by corner. I knew which blocks smelled like fresh bread, and which ones smelled like piss and memory. Driving that city bus was my peace. Put me in that seat, give me my route, and I was good. Didn't matter the noise, the traffic, the kids cussin' in the back. That wheel in my hands, that was control. I drove the 17 line, South Loop to Broad and back, twice a day, 5 days a week. I knew my regulars. The old woman who always paid with change. The construction guy who slept in the back. The high school kids that ran their mouths but always said thank you on the way out. I was halfway through my afternoon run when I saw the smoke. It wasn't just one fire. It was everywhere. Downtown looked like someone lit the sky on fire. Radio started chirping. Something about a lockdown, civil unrest, National Guard coming in. I pulled over at 4th and Ash, told the passengers to stay calm. Some left, some didn't. One man, bleeding from his hand, begged me to take him further uptown. I should have made him get off, but I let him sit in the back, breathing hard. I kept driving. That's when I heard it, the scream. Not from outside, from inside the bus. I looked up in the mirror and saw the man attacking a teenage boy. No warning, just teeth and blood. People started yelling. The bus swerved. I slammed the brakes, but we crashed into a lamppost. Glass shattered. The back doors blew open. Everyone scrambled. I turned around and tried to help. Tried to pull the man off the kid. But he turned his head toward me and bit into my arm like I was lunch. I felt my body stiffen, the pain shooting up through my shoulder. The kid got free and ran. I fell back into the stairwell, bleeding onto the floor mat that used to say, "Watch your step." The man, or whatever he was, bolted through the broken doors. Chasing someone else, I just lay there, breathing heavy, tasting metal in the back of my throat. I didn't know it then, but that was my last stop. During the long route to nowhere, the first thing I noticed when I woke back up was the hum. Not a voice, not the screams, not the hunger. Just the low, rattling hum of the bus engine, still idling. I was slumped in the stairwell where I fell. Head hanging low, eyes fogged like busted glass, arm torn, bone visible. But I stood, not because I wanted to, because something inside me needed to. I climbed back into the seat, put my hand on the wheel. My fingers twitched against the leather, stiff, cracked, soaked in dried blood. The keys were still in the ignition. I turned them, the bus jerked forward. Slow, unnatural, like a corpse trying to dance. And I drove. I didn't know why, didn't know where, just kept moving through empty intersections, rolling past burned-out storefronts and hollowed-out gas stations, bodies in the street, smoke trailing into the sky. I saw movement once, a woman running down 8th with a baby in her arms. I should have slammed the brakes, but I didn't. He turned the wheel, clipped a street sign, sideswiped a car, but I didn't stop. Because something deeper than instinct was pulling me forward. I passed the old corner where the jazz band used to play on Fridays. Their instruments were still on the sidewalk, covered in blood. I passed the shelter that gave out hot meals on Wednesdays. The windows were smashed, doors wide open. I kept driving. Sometimes I would see someone. They'd yell, scream, throw something at the windshield. A bottle, a brick, a prayer. And when I stopped, I'd step off the bus. Legs moving before my mind could even think to stop them. And I'd chase, not because I wanted to, because I had to. I'd catch them, tear into them, hear their screams turn to gurgles. And still, somewhere behind the hunger, there was a whisper. A small, crumbling voice in the back of my head screaming, "Don't. Please stop. You don't have to." But I did, over and over. When it was done, I'd climb back into the driver's seat, like clocking in for another shift. Like I was just late for a route. I'd reach for the radio sometimes. Out of muscle memory, dispatch. This is bus 17. I'm off route, over. No one answered. Only static. Only ghosts. And I drove on. Alone. Through the city I used to know better than my own reflection. Now barely able to remember my own name. Still following the streets. Like maybe, just maybe, one of them would lead me home. The fare you can't pay. I don't know how long I've been driving. Days, maybe. Or maybe just one long moment, stretched too thin to break. But the city's different now. It used to breathe with noise, horns, footsteps, laughter, anger. Now it just whispers back at me through broken windows and rusted fences. And still, I drive. The hunger doesn't hit the same way anymore. It's still there, sharp and burning. But sometimes it fades, like it's stuck behind a red light, waiting. And that's when the thoughts creep in. I'll pass a stop I used to know. See the bench where old Miss Annie used to wait every morning with her floral cane and knit hat. I'd honk twice just to make her laugh. But now the bench is empty. And I swear, for a second, I can see her in the rear view. Not really, not her. Just a flicker, like a smudge on memory's glass. I blink, she's gone. Next stop, Broad and Vine. That's where the kids used to climb on after school. Backpacks bigger than their heads. Always acting tough until I asked them how their grades were. They never said goodbye. Just bumped fists on the way out. Made me feel like I mattered. I stopped there yesterday. Doors hissed open automatically. But no one got on. Still, I waited. Like I was expecting them. Like I owed them a ride I never gave. That's when the guilt started sinking in. Every time I fed, I'd come back here, to the seat, to the wheel, to the route. And it'd feel like I was carrying them all with me. The people I couldn't save, the people I chased, the people I killed. My bus isn't empty, not really, it's packed, standing room only, with ghosts I can't see. But I feel them, in every bump, every curve, every sudden stop. I try to hold the wheel tighter, but my hands are rotting, flesh slipping from the bones. Every twitch is harder to control, and still, I drive. Because maybe, somewhere deep inside, I believe, if I just finish the route, if I make all my stops, maybe, I'll wake up. Maybe this nightmare will end. Maybe I'll pull into the terminal, and someone will be there. Someone alive. Someone who sees me. Not the monster, but even now, as I roll past shattered glass and ash-filled air. I know the truth. This route never ends. There's no fare high enough to buy my way back, and I can't stop driving. Because, if I stop, I'll have to face what I've done. After the final stop, I don't remember the sound of the bullet, only the silence, after I was coming around the corner of 22nd and Olmsted, an intersection that hadn't seen a green light in weeks. There was a barricade, up, a rusted SUV wedged sideways. A group of survivors hiding behind it, armed, desperate, shaking. I don't know what I looked like to them. Probably just another walking corpse. Torn shirt, bloodied jaw. A city bus creaking behind me like a coffin on wheels. One of them yelled, Another raised a rifle. I didn't move, and that might have been what scared them most. I just stood there, hands slack, head tilted. I wanted to speak, to say, "It's okay. I'm done," but all that came out was a low, broken groan. A whisper of my former self. The shot came clean through my head. No pain, just a blink. And then, stillness. The hunger faded instantly, like someone cut the cord. I wasn't cold anymore. I wasn't lost. I was standing in the bus again. Sunlight pouring through clean windows, no blood, no bodies. Just me, alone, at peace. The dashboard clock blinked 6 a.m. Start of my shift. My seat felt warm, familiar, and in the mirror, I saw my reflection. Not the monster, not the thing they killed. Just a man, tired, but free. I turned the key, and the engine purred like it used to. The depot ahead was empty. Doors wide open. As I pulled in, I knew I wasn't coming back out. This was it, the final stop. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I let go of the wheel.
Maybe I wasn't meant to be saved. Maybe I was just the driver, getting everyone else where they needed to go, but never finding my own stop. If you hear this, if you see a bus rolling down an empty street with no one at the wheel, let it pass. This was Thoughts of a Zombie. You're watching Whisper Spet Windles. We upload horror daily. There's always another story boarding soon.